I mean, I'll go up and watch the tape. I thought, you can tell we're in really good shape. Guys look good. They're moving around. Guys know what to do. So, I mean, we're not a really competitive team on the first and second day as we put pads on. There'll be a little bit more tomorrow. We're really trying to ramp up this first week. So when we hit pads next week, we're able to go and not have to think and be in great shape. But credit to the guys. I think they all came in pretty good shape.
Can you compare last year and this year between protocols and this year, lack thereof, or less?
Last year's training camp's been wiped from my mind. No, no. I mean, it was just it was like that initial phase where they could weight lift and then walk. So there's so many different things. But I think as a team, we're just in way better shape. And guys have way less anxiety. Hopefully, they know, like, all right, this is what we do at practice. This is what OTL means. This is what this means. So we're just moving much more smoothly.
Matt, how the quarterbacks look?
I mean, 7-on-7, I thought they were really accurate. 7-on-7, we completed a lot of balls. It's early in practice. It's a lot of first and second down underneath throws and stuff like that. I think this is one of those things where, I mean, as I said yesterday, I really want the quarterbacks to have bad days. I think growth only happens when you have adversity and struggles. So I thought for the first day they knew where to go with the football. We'll have to go up and watch the tape. We have to really, really, really harp on location, footwork. But at least out there, I was pleased.
Is there any particular thing that you're specifically looking for these first couple of days? Like, this is what I want to see. Is there something like that?
Pretty much everything. I mean, I think one of the keys is because we're not in pads the first 4 days, and really there's a day off, and then there's a new mandated no pads the fifth day, which is really the sixth day. What I'm looking for is a team that really we can put a lot on install-wise. So since we're not being super physical, striking people, we learn a lot. We put a lot of our offense and defense in, so that it's really pressing guys mentally. And then, to me, it's, what standards we're going to set in terms of all the little things, on offense, defense, and special teams right now. So we've got some good veterans who know what it's supposed to look like and who are out there saying, hey, this is what it has to look like. So we'll, just go through the process of getting to the tape and correcting it and the long grind of training camp.
Matt, speaking of the little things, Sam's the guy that I think leads more by example than what he says and all. Any little things you saw out there from him that stood out today that shows his leadership?
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. I've said to Sam, Sam's just got Sam's 23 years old. He just has to worry about playing quarterback right now. We got great leaders. We got Christian McCaffrey. We got Matt Paradis. We got, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Dan Arnold. We got all these veteran guys that have played a lot on defense. We got Shaq Thompson, AJ Boye, Daquan, Morgan Fox, guys who've been there. What I'm really looking for from Sam right now is to be the first guy in the building and the last guy to leave. I want him to just absolutely grind and outwork the competition. And I want PJ and Will to do the same thing. And so if our quarterbacks work at that level, it's a lot more important to me than words. If they're spending so much time on the tape that they walk on the practice field every day and they know what to do, the more you're around all the great quarterbacks, or the more you hear about them, their level of preparation sets the tone way beyond anything else. And so I think Sam looked like a guy that was very, very, very well prepared today. And that's, to me, is how he's going to lead this team.
Matt, I'm not sure if this is something you can address, but we've seen Sam in a red wristband.
Yeah, nothing about that. Yeah.
Can you say where he is?
Nope.
In the vaccination?
Yeah. I've been, and I mean that respectfully. I cut you off there. I'm not going to comment on any one person where they are, vaccine, where they're in the status. They'll leave that up to each individual guy. And in terms of even the protocols, what the red wristband means, Bruce will handle all that. As I said to our guys, I think the thing with coronavirus, with the Delta variant and all those things is it's going to be an issue, even though we're so highly vaccinated. It's going to be an issue for us to deal with all year long. It's going to be an issue for the world to deal with, but it can't be a distraction. And so everybody's made their decisions. Guys are still making some decisions. Guys are in different places in the process. You know what? We still have to be smart. It's still going to affect us and in different ways just because it's affecting the whole world. So, but in terms of talking about each specific guy, I'll let them speak for themselves.
The interest, especially.
Oh, yeah. You have a job. I understand the question. I think one of the great things about our team is I just try to let guys speak for themselves. They can address it. But, Sam's done everything I can ask him to do, so I'll just say that.
Can you comment at all on the players that are trying out behind us?
Yeah, we have as you guys saw, I think you saw we have some guys that are on some different lists and stuff. So we have the ability to bring some guys in. So, we're going to be a team that when we have space, we're going to bring guys in and work them out. That's Fitz's mentality. That's my mentality. So we're always just going to keep a book of guys so that as guys leave the team, as space opens up, as guys go on different lists, even if we don't sign them, we have names of them.
Are you happy overall with the health? I mean, it seems like mostly healthy, pretty much, besides those guys on those lists.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the start. I think like I said, guys came into camp in shape, and you can't guarantee that you're not going to get injuries, but you can do everything possible to put yourself in the best position. I feel like our guys have done that, and the guys that were out in the spring are out here practicing full speed now.
Are you in good shape staff-wise on that kind of stuff as well, Matt? Are you able to say that?
I thought you were going to say, am I in good shape? I was like, let's leave that alone, Joe. In terms of...
We've seen some other teams where some coaches with vaccinations and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't have any issues with that.
Coach, you mentioned noticing less anxiety among guys this time around. Why do you think that is? What's different?
Well, I mean, I think when you don't know what to expect the next day, there's so much pressure on these guys. I mean, they all want to make the team, and if they know they're going to make the team, they want to earn a bigger role, and if they already have a big role, they want to play their best football. So there's so much external pressure on these guys that they have to deal with, and there's so much internal pressure for them because they're elite athletes. They want to perform at a high level, and so when you don't know what to expect, it just adds another layer of anxiety. When you know, and that doesn't mean like every day is the same. We try to create a little chaos, but when they kind of know, okay, here's the consistency of the staff, here's the consistency of the way they practice, here's the consistency of the meetings. It just takes one variable out, and even for our coaching staff, we are a way more cohesive coaching staff this year than last year because we've all kind of been together for a year, and they understand there's going to be one meeting where Matt comes in and flips the table over and says that was awful by us. There's going to be another time I'm like, hey guys, get out of here early. We just all kind of know each other. I know Phil, I know Joe now, and so there's less anxiety on the coaching staff's end, on the players' end, and you just hope that you hope that familiarity takes over. That's why I always bring it up about Sam. He has so much he has to figure out about even how we even meet. It's his first training camp with us. The more guys are in the system, the more comfortable they are.
Matt, perhaps a question better for Joe Brady, but since you're here. Christian last year, given his skill set, how much of a change was that when he was out for quite a bit of the season? How much did it change what you guys could do offensively, and how anxious are you to get him back in there this year with?
Yeah, I mean, I hate looking back to last year too much. I mean, obviously, Christian's a great player, one of the greatest in the league, and not having him, changes what you can do and how you do it. I thought Mike did a great job coming in and playing for him, but we're anxious to get Christian out there. He's a difference maker. He only gets in the National Football League. You only get so many difference makers, and he's our difference maker. And we have some other ones too. Don't get me wrong, but so yeah, we're anxious to get him out there.
Maybe a better question. What things are you able to do with him in the lineup?
Well, I think he's a guy that can catch the football out of the backfield and run it at a high level, and so you're not having to substitute, hey, put this guy in for this, put this guy in for that. There's really nothing that Christian can't do, so you're able to utilize him, and I think it just cuts down on the tips for, other teams.
Hey, we'll do a couple more.
Matt, in bringing guys in, are there certain positions you're prioritizing than others? Or any positions you're looking to focus on?
In terms of?
In bringing guys in.
When we lose a guy to reserve COVID, we're always obviously looking for those positions. And then I think during camp, the receivers and the DBs take a lot, they take a lot of strain. So we're always working out and looking at receivers just to make sure that, as guys go down, we have other guys that can come in here and let the quarterbacks get reps and compete to play. And then if there's as things start to happen in the league, if there's a player we think upgrades us, then we'll take a look at them as well.
If I could also ask, have there been certain benchmarks that you've expressed to the team as examples of things you want to hit where you can walk away and say, we've done what we came here for?
Well, we've established some training camp goals, that obviously those are internal, but I mean, I think the team has a pretty good focus on, we want to be the type of team that just wakes up every day and just concentrates on that day and tries to get, just a little bit better each day and tries to raise the standard of our play every day. That being said, by the time we end training camp, we want to know that, hey, we've established these things, we've built a foundation in certain areas, and so today was just, the first step in that process. But I think we all are at least aligned in terms of, hey, we're trying to get these things done. We're going to have some adversity along the way. Every day can't be a great day. Let's learn from the bad days. Let's build on the good days, and then hope by the end of training camp we're in a good position to start the season. And then hope that we're a team during the season that gets better and better and better.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys. I didn't mean to
Thanks,
cut you.
Matt.
I'm so sorry.
Guys, we'll have Brian Burns step right up.
It's gonna be fun to have help, one, but it's also gonna push me to, to work harder and get there faster because I know he's coming. So it's great to have him on the other side.
You're in a red jersey for a lot of OTAs, but how are you feeling health-wise coming into camp this year?
I feel good. I feel solid. Surgery, everything went well. Rehab's going well. So I feel solid. I felt good today. So I say I'm at 100%.
Brian, is there anything you focus on, particularly in the off season or like in the time between minicamp and training camp? Something you really worked on specifically?
I worked on my angles a lot and more about finishing at the top of the rush and stop going for the strip sack all the time. So that's mainly what I focused on this offseason.
Is that something you do too much?
Yeah, I think I go for the strip too much, so just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
bit.
Still gonna keep
Yeah, I'm still gonna keep going for it.
Well, it looks like you added some muscle. Was that a focal point, or is that just kind of something that came along with your preparation during the offseason?
It just comes along with it. Like that's always one of the main goals during the off season is to maintain. But I wanted to gain, and I'm just gonna keep gaining. I feel like I can still fill out my body, so just keep doing that.
How much have you gained?
I say about 12, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 12 pounds.
Brian, Shaq talked about somebody who thought he was going to kind of bust out this year was Derek Brown. What do you think about that and what you've seen so far?
I've always told Derek Brown he can be a beast. All you got to do is lock in, you know what I'm saying, pay attention to his keys, his techniques, and I think he can really be unstoppable. That size, that speed, and that athleticism, he can do a lot of things.
Brian, something that Jack mentioned yesterday was really building on more of a brotherhood versus business partners. What has been the benefit of being back in this environment at Walker?
I would say basically because we're in the dorm, so we're always around each other. We're spending most of the day with each other from the get-go. But, being back at the stadium, everybody goes home to their families and everything like that. But we're all in the dorm, so we're hanging out more, playing cards, getting to know each other, and that'll build a brotherhood and make you play harder for the guy next to you.
Have you felt any sort of, the reward of that yet?
Yes, I have, yeah. I was just playing the game with Yitor last night.
What's the card game of choice?
I prefer spades. Yitor sucks at spades, so I need to find me a new partner, but it was fun while it lasted.
Doing much dancing, showing up?
He can't dance. Nah,
But
he can't
I
dance.
mean you in particular.
Oh, yeah, I'm always dancing. You know that. You see.
How many hats have you bring?
7.
And kind of tell us why so many and anything specific that.
Mainly because I didn't want to pack a lot of clothes, and then we're just coming from the dorm to the stadium. It's not that important, so I'm just really wearing like gym shorts and jackets. But I just want to stand out with my hats. That's all.
Your gray wristband. Explain.
Oh, different breed. Oh, that's just
Get that and
that's just kind of a mindset. That's just kind of a mindset. I feel like I'm different from other edges, other ends. I feel like I bring something different to the table as far as I bend, my flexibility, my speed. So that's just what that stands for, is a different breed.
So, Brian, speaking of other edges, it's kind of a general consensus among Panthers fans and just overall NFL media that you are a little bit underrated on Madden, on these lists, these preseason lists and things like that. What type of impact does that have on you? Does it have any impact at all as far as, like, are you working with a chip on your shoulder? Do you feel like you have something to prove?
I always feel like I got something to prove. It's always going to be a chip. I mean, if you ever felt underappreciated or underrated, you're always gonna have a chip on your shoulder just to prove those guys wrong. But at the end of the day, I don't care because I got my own personal goals that I want to work towards, and as long as I get that, it don't really matter what people think.
Are you willing to share some of those goals that you have going into the season?
Not at all.
Not yet? I figured I'd try.
Shaq Thompson talked about the youth on the defense and how it's kind of re-energized him heading into the season. Can you talk about that and how you guys are channeling that on the field?
Yeah, we're super young. A lot of energy, a lot of high-level guys. I feel like they really took a big jump at the end of the year last year, and I feel like we could just keep building on that. And now our leaders are stepping into their roles. But now that we have all this talent and these young guys, basically, this is a young defense. So I feel like it's a lot of energy, a lot of juice. So yeah, that's all I can say.
How much
Let's get one more here,
having a threat on the other side last year? How much did that impact?
I
What
couldn't hear
happened with you last year, the double teams and everything, was not having a threat on the other side?
I mean, it's kind of hard because the offense is going to game plan you, slide to you, chip you, make an aggravating game. So having Hassan on the other side, having Morgan in the inside, Daquan, Derek, they got to pick their poison, like I always say. They can't double team me, they can't double team Son, they can't chip both of us. So they got to pick their poison, and that's all.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Brian.
Don't forget your helmet.
Oh, the helmet holder. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a good first day back. You know, we're not fully like 100% practicing, but you know, preparing ourselves and getting there.
Coach Rhule mentioned even just there being less anxiety, it appears, among guys. Have you also experienced that, and what do you think would be different?
I think this year is like a lot different than last year because we had like an off season. I mean, we've all played and been under these coaches. Like last year, everybody met a coach through a screen and met each other through a screen, and like our first time together was like on the practice field. You know, we played a season together and had an off season and things like that. So it's a lot different.
Robbie, you've kind of become the Sam Darnold expert because you played with him before. Leadership is something that I don't think anybody really questioned in New York, did they? Or if they did, let me know. And what do you see out of him as a leader? What makes him a leader?
He's gonna lead with his actions, you know. He's gonna lead with his voice, but he's definitely gonna lead with his actions, and he's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? He keeps like a head down, keep grinding mentality.
How's he different than he was when you were last with him, if at all?
I mean, I think he's more mature, you know, and I think he's just in a new environment, you know, that makes a big difference too.
Robbie, how is this offense different with and without Christian McCaffrey? He missed 13 games last year. Played in 3 when he did. He played really well, but how is it different with and without him?
I mean, I think it's a lot different with him because, you know, he's one of the, if not the best back in the league, one of the best backs, and you get a lot more like coverages that's more pass friendly for me and DJ when he's on the field, and you know he's another threat and another playmaker.
Coach, you had a good year last year. What were some things you're trying to accomplish this season? What were some things you tried to work on this offseason?
I've been working on everything, you know, like I feel like last year, my mindset is I'm trying to go from good to great, you know, and we didn't win last year. You know, that's the most important thing. So I'm just trying to do more on my end to contribute more to winning and perfect everything on my end, my craft.
How do you think you can help your team contribute more to how can you do that, contribute?
Making more plays, you know, things like that. And I feel like the harder I work, people around me gonna work harder. You know, we feel like people feed off people's energy, you know.
How are you liking this training camp environment? Sam said you guys didn't have this type of kind of old school type of feel in New York. How are you liking being down here in Spartanburg?
I mean, it is what it is, you know. I haven't been in a dorm since I was in college, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm not really I'm staying focused on like the real goal, not the right here and now. You know, this is going to pass, you know, but it is what it is.
Robbie, Madden came out with their top 10 list of receivers. No Panthers were on that list. Why do you believe in this group of receivers?
Because we going to work, you know what I'm saying? We don't really, all that stuff going to come. You know, I think a lot of accolades come from when you win. You know, you play big games and win big games, you know, so we got to get to that level to get that recognition.
Do you guys talk about that as a group and say,
Nah.
let's prove this wrong?
Nah, we don't really like, me and DJ, like, we like very similar in a lot of ways, but we don't really like, you know, care about all that stuff, you know, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really like matter. That's not, if ratings and things like that's not going to put a W on the record, you know what I'm saying?
Robbie, we talked to Fitter yesterday. He said that he's talking to a couple, 2-3 guys who are in contract years. Is that something you would be open to discussing, or kind of what's your approach to that?
Now, you know, things like that, I think I like to keep my business confidential, and I know it's going to work itself out in due time. So, I just grind and put in work and let that stuff take care of itself.
And I'm assuming you've liked your time here and
Yeah.
all that. But
For sure.
how would you kind of assess last year, kind of in terms of you, just kind of where a satisfaction level for you personally and professionally?
I mean, it was a career year, you know what I'm saying? But still a lot of goals and a lot of things left out on the table. So that's why I'm excited to be back into it now to, you know, get all that stuff in order.
Anything else for Robbie?
DJ said you're the funniest on the team. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I mean, I guess so. I don't know.
All right, Robbie, appreciate it.
Robbie.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Appreciate it.
That'll do it for the podium.
Thank you, Rob.